Hi. Bear with me because this is a little long video and it's kind of complicated what I have to say. But it's a very important point if you are close to a narcissist, but even more so if you know someone who is close to a narcissist. Because sometimes you get the feeling that people who are close to narcissists are not very interested in assuming responsibility for their own healing. They actually don't seem very interested in healing. And this can be quite boggling because we know, when we on the outside look at the person being with a narcissist, we know that the narcissist is toxic. We can see it and we can hear from the stories that the person we know tell us that this relationship is toxic and they should get out and they should work on their boundaries. And it can be really, really hard to understand why the person who is close to a narcissist isn't jumping at the opportunity to heal and say, yes, I want to heal. Yes, I want to do therapy. Yes, I want to work on myself. There is actually not just one, but several very good reasons why this is not so. So I will try to make it short and make it clear why this is so. So the thing that the narcissist does to us is first they create an alliance. You are very special, I am very special, not a lot of people understand us, not a lot of people are like us, so therefore you and I must stick together. And they also often love bomb us, like, you are the most amazing person. I've never met anyone like you. You're so special. And I don't think a lot of people in your life get you and understand how amazing you are, but I do. And that's because I'm amazing too. And therefore, you and I, we must stick together and we must form a bond, and it's us against the world, okay? So what they're doing is they're excluding you. Step by step, little by little, they are excluding you from the rest of the world so that they are your primary person. They are your person. And when you have someone close to you who creates such an alliance in you, who creates this closeness and this intimacy and this magical connection, you automatically feel very, very loyal to that person. You build up a loyalty that lives so deep within you, you cannot even put it into words. You just feel you owe them. And of course the narcissist will exploit this. They will exploit it in 1,000 ways. And I'm sure if you've been with a narcissist, you can give examples of this. So I'm not going to go into that because that's not what this video is about. But this initial alliance and the whole fucking with your mind and creating the connection and the alliance is why the trauma bonding appears. The trauma bonding is your brain telling you that you need to be here to survive. Okay, so let me give you a very good example. What is triggered in your brain is the fear, flight, or freeze function. And we also freeze, but in this video the freeze function is not so, or play dead, is not so important. So I'm going to put that aside. But the fight or flight mode is really important. Our brain has a function in the reptile part of the brain that makes us go into fight or flight mode when we meet something that is potentially deadly dangerous to us. For example, we're walking through the nice forest and suddenly there's a tiger standing there right in the path going, and you're like, ah! And your first reaction is of course to turn around and run as fast as you can. So when the narcissist has gotten this alliance created with you and had made you relax and feel loved and feel appreciated and feel significant and important, and then suddenly they turn around and they become, bam! They do this to you emotionally or even physically. that will be perceived by the brain the same way as when you are facing a deadly threat. However, because you have this alliance with the narcissist and your loyalty that comes from it, you cannot fight. You cannot run. There is no way out. Okay? You cannot just get up and go. Well, most people can. There are some people who can, but most people cannot. They are stuck in the whole fight part of this. And the interesting thing is that we all know that there's no fighting the narcissist. But what your brain will do is it will keep asking the same question. How do I deal with this? 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 And you will start to think about it in the evening. You will wake up in the night and think about, how do I deal with this? And you will think about this question in 1,000 different ways. How do I stop him from being so angry? How do I stop him from being abusive? How do I explain to him that he's being mean to me? How do I make him understand and see the world from my perspective? Your brain goes into kind of, when in the old days we had those black records, and when the record was done, the pickup would just go round and round. So your brain does that. It actually just goes round and round with the same question over and over and over in different forms. So this is what happens, okay? This is what happens in anyone who is close to a narcissist and does not just get up and take their clothes and go, which would be the sound thing. But we have that little, you owe them, you owe them, you owe them to be there because you are the only thing they have and they are the only thing you have, and nobody can ever love you the way they do, and they have never experienced love the way you make them feel, and you make them a better person, and you will be nothing without them, and all the bullshit that they put into our head in the first 6 months, and just reinforce over time again and again and again and again and again and again. So we have that trauma bonding. So this is what happens. You perceive the narcissist to be a deadly threat. In your brain, of course, you know logically that he or she might not be killing you, but they are killing part of you. Emotionally, they are actually killing part of you, part of what you really like about yourself in the beginning. The lovely feeling of being important and warm, and yeah, everything is just perfect and my life is just wee. So they're killing that. And that is perceived by the brain the same way as if you were walking and there suddenly was a tiger in your path. So since you cannot fight, you want to fight them. And since you cannot fight them, your brain goes into some kind of neurotic rumination, repetitive gear, where you start thinking about the same things. That is why when you are in, for example, groups of people who are close to narcissists on Facebook, or you're in a therapy group for people who have been close to narcissists, you will hear this. They're seeking validation. They're seeking tools to deal with the narcissist. Nobody is looking at themselves going, how the fuck did I end up in this situation? There must be something in me that I need to change since I ended up in this situation. That comes much later in the process. The first thing is to deal with this rumination, trauma bonding, manipulated part of you that just wants answers on how to deal with this threat that you are having in your life. And this is why people are not coming to a group on Facebook seeking healing for themselves. They want to fix the problem. They want to deal with the narcissist. They want to have help or be validated, be mirrored by others who can say, yes, It's true, what you're going through is actually toxic. What you are experiencing is actually crazy. It's not you who are crazy, and you really don't owe them anything. You are not guilty. You are not flawed. This is all part of the web that the narcissistic spider has built around you, and the toxic, the venom that they have injected into you, so that you cannot leave. Okay, so this is actually why people are not coming to a Facebook group to seek healing. So what we need to do is, as the Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard said, we always, if we want to move people, if we want to change people, we need to meet them where they are. And that means that we cannot meet someone who says, what am I going to do about the narcissist? We cannot meet them with the question, what are you going to do about you? Because there will be, but I'm not the problem. He or she is. The narcissist is the problem, not me. I'm just giving them everything I can. I'm loving them as to my best abilities. I'm giving and giving and giving and giving. And I'm overstepping my own boundaries and letting them overstep my boundaries again and again and again, hoping that this will be the thing that fixes them, that makes them loving again, that makes them understand they're hurting me and suddenly turn around and be good people. This is what I need. Yeah. So we have to meet them there, and we have to give them confirmation and validation that, yeah, what you're seeing is right, and you are actually experiencing craziness, crazy making in the process, and you have been a victim of this, and you are not flawed. It is not because you are fucked up in the head that you are being manipulated by a narcissist. Your brain is doing exactly what it's told. Your brain is trying to survive a deadly threat, and that is okay. Now, when that is said and done, and they're like, okay, I actually understand that this is not about me. I am the victim, and I hate the word victim, but when we talk about narcissists, it's true. I am actually the victim of someone crazy, mentally ill, who is mind-fucking, manipulating, gaslighting, crazy making, and the only thing I can do is remove myself from it. And once that is said, the thing is, but how do I do that? Because I owe him or her. We are the only ones we have, and there has never been anyone loving me as much as him or her. I felt so important in the beginning. I felt significant. I felt a love I've never tried before. And it takes a while, and it takes a lot of mirroring and reflection and calm and time and peace to actually get to the point where you say, oh, I can change this. I cannot change the narcissist, but I can change how I react. Oh, I can change how I choose to let my boundaries be overstepped or not. I can change. I can choose to go gray rock whenever they pull my triggers. They push all my buttons and make me go and be really upset. I can choose not to do that. Oh, I really want to learn that. I want to learn how to do that. And then when they start learning how to deal with the narcissistic methods, the narcissistic manipulation, the narcissistic gaslighting, and the triggering of pushing all your buttons, they know exactly what to push. If you are afraid of being a bad mother, or you're afraid of being a bad father, or you're afraid of being a not so good person, they know that you have that fear, and they will push that button in you for sure. So you have to work with that. You have to understand that, yeah, okay, maybe I'm not a perfect father, but I am as good as I can be, and that is good enough. That is good enough. So once you are not being, because they're actually stringing you along, they're pulling you like a donkey with a carrot on a stick. They're making you run after this thing with explaining yourself, defending yourself all the time. So when you realize that this is something you can choose to not react to, because there's no point. It doesn't change anything. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, it doesn't change anything. Once you realize that, there is no way I can fight this lion. There is no way I can fight this lion. That's when you can start to look at yourself and go, am I actually happy here? What was I like? What was my life like before I met this person, the narcissist? I was actually having a good thing going. I was successful and I was having good friends, and my life was actually starting to look like a really good life. And then this person came along, and now I'm totally broken down and my self-esteem is in shreds and I feel terrible. Okay, I need to do something. This is where the realization comes. I need to do something. The narcissist will never change. I need to do something. And then, of course, when we are out of the relationship, we have stopped communicating with the parent who is narcissistic, or we have changed jobs because of the narcissistic boss or coworker or whatever it is, then the healing can begin. Then we can sit down and say, okay, I was actually damaged. And just like when you break a leg, skiing, for example, or running or whatever, you have to have that leg in a cast for some time, and you have to take it easy, and you have to heal, and you have to learn how to walk again when the cast comes off. Rehabilitation. There's a rehabilitation period after having broken something. It's exactly the same after you've been with a narcissist. You are emotionally broken, not because there's something wrong with you, not because you're a bad person, but because the narcissist is that this is what they do. They break you. They break your self-esteem, they break your emotions, they break your self-confidence, they break your spirit, because that's the only way they can feel powerful and feel that you are not better than them. They cannot stand that. I've talked about that in another video, so I'm not going to go into that. But this is exactly what happens. So I hope this gives you some answers to why people who are with narcissists do not jump at the opportunity to heal and work with themselves and go into therapy. So yes. So whether you are with a narcissist, or you have been, or you're close to someone who is with a narcissist, take care of you first and foremost. Ask yourself, is this life the good life that I want to live? And then if the answer is no, look at what you can do concretely to change it one step at a time, to create the life that you deserve, full of love and laughter. Okay, take care. Bye.